long before time, before Blue Lock, before Yoichi Isagi, we had Axel, Blaze and Mark Evans carrying our childhoods. But today, I'm not here to talk about that. Today, I'm here to talk about a legendary forgotten hood classic, a TV show that I feel is not getting enough credit for its impact on our childhoods. Supa Strikas is a South African TV show about a fictional football team that travels the world in order to compete in the Super League. Now, in real life terms, the Super League would probably be equivalent to something like the World Cup or the Champions League, and it's definitely not a reference to that abomination that almost happened in 2020. Now, Supa Strikas has about 7 seasons, so if I sat here and started talking about the entire show, we'd be sitting here until tomorrow. So yeah, I'm only gonna talk about a specific episode. Game over. So the episode starts with a match, and I'm not gonna lie, Supa Strikas are getting washed, but out of nowhere, Heung-min Son steals the ball. He gets marked and plays the ball to the star boy himself, Shakes. Shakes is about to take a shot, but not only does this man completely miss the ball, he scrapes the ground and falls over. Technically, his keeper picks up the ball, plays it upfield, and with the score being 3-0 at the 90th minute, the ref blows full time and technically won? Nah, this is technically we're talking about. I've never seen these guys beat Supa Strikas, and today, all of a sudden, nah, something is not make sure here. And I was right, because not even 5 minutes later, Super League agents started storming the pitch, and then boom, technically disqualified. What's going on? Allow me to explain. So you see this guy, right? He's a scientist. He somehow found a way to use performance enhancing nanotechnology in order to enhance Technicali's performance against Supa Strikas. So yeah, to put it in short, Technicali was cheating. So because of that, Technicali was disqualified and Supa Strikas were in the final. Everyone on the Supa Strikas team is happy except Shakes. Supa Strikas are back in their locker room, and Shakes, he's not feeling so happy, so he leaves early. But in his absence, his teammate began complaining, saying he wasn't the same anymore. He is literally trash. But Shakes was right there, he heard everything. But luckily for Shakes, coach wasn't having it. Shakes is starting in the finals no matter what. Fast forward a few days and it's time for the final. Match day at Strikerland. Everyone on the Supa Strikas team is ready and excited to play the finals, except Shakes again. But even though my man Shakes is down, coach still hasn't stopped believing in him. But he's already stopped believing in himself. And I like that both teams had to sing the national anthem before playing the final. This is like some detail that we usually don't get in Supa Strikas. Everyone was feeling the atmosphere except Shakes. Bro was kinda daydreaming. Kickoff begins and Cool Joe's running outfield. He gets marked and does a drag back and plays it to Dancing Rasta. Rasta to El Matador, back to Rasta. Rasta looks up and sees Shakes running into space. Rasta, with a bit of trust he has left, plays the ball to Shakes. Shakes, looking more confident than ever, dribbles past the player, takes a shot, but it's over the bar. And with that, Shakes loses every bit of confidence he had left. Yeah, it's bad. Even the fans are worried. Shakes is having an absolute stinker. Everything he attempts to do just doesn't work. Bro's dropping a 0 out of 10 performance. He makes a horrible touch and the ball rolls way too far. But he looked at the ball and said, nah, enough is enough. He chased the ball down with all his might, but Iron Tech's defender was able to get it before him, and then they collided. Boom, 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 boom. Shakes wakes up in the hospital. Shakes like, did we win? But they like, nah, we lost. But you don't gotta worry about that, my guy. You got some bigger problems. Huh? What are you talking about? What the hell? Handcuffs? So Shakes is lost and doesn't know what the hell is going on, so coach had to step in and explain it to him. Alright, I'm gonna try do a voiceover for this specific part, okay? When the doctor scanned your head for the concussion, they found performance enhancing nanotechnology. Like technically? So in short, the doctor found performance enhancing nanotechnology inside Shakes' head. Shakes says he's innocent, but the evidence is heavily against him. And because of that, my man is in huge trouble. He cannot leave the hospital. The nurse chases everybody out, including coach, because as a patient, Shakes needs time to rest. Shakes is bored, so he turns on the TV and then he sees this woman, Tonya Verona. Now, this woman claims to be the doctor who found nanotechnology inside Shakes' head, but something's fishy about this Tonya Verona. She looks a lot like Tony Verns. Shakes thinks he's been sabotaged by Tony Verns, so he decides, nah, I'ma set things right myself. And remember how I said he wasn't allowed to leave the hospital? Yeah, he escaped. Being a pro athlete, he easily outran these bum Super League agents. Spinjitzu around this guy, but my man wasn't looking up because he fell right into the stairs. But luckily for him, it broke him free of the handcuffs. This man jumped off the 6th floor and glided onto the next building. What the hell? In what world could a professional footballer do this? But hey, this is the Supa Strikas world we're talking about. Anything happens here. Now, because Shakes ran from the hospital, this man is in real trouble. Like, he's literally public enemy number 1. Even from running from the Super League to running from the FBI. Man, Supa Strikas is such a random show, man. Like, how do we go from football matches to Shakes versus the FBI? Like, this is why this show is so peak, man. You never know what you're tuning into. Shakes breaks into Spencer's house, tells him about Tonya Veronica and how he thinks he's been sabotaged by Tony Burns cosplaying as Tonya Veronica. But before he could get into details, the FBI caught up to him. Shakes tries to run by jumping over the fence, but the FBI dude is onto him. He begins to chase him down. They both jump over the fences, and I gotta give it to this guy. He's really fast. The cameraman cuts to these two kids watching the news in their house, and turns out Shakes is running in their backyard. Shakes gets to the bridge, and in front of him, Super League agents, and behind him, the FBI. So Shakes is low-key, so not even low-key, he is surrounded. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. What is Shakes going to do now? And bro, you will never believe this. This guy is a footballer, by the way. Look at what he does. This man jumps over the bridge, lands on a bus, and makes his escape. What the hell? My nigga, do you know who else I've seen do this? Flipping Captain America, bro. A super soldier. Shakes, my guy, are you sure you're innocent? Shakes gets a video sent to him by Coach telling him that they were worried about him and that they're having a bride. Super League agents are spying on Coach and the guys, expecting Shakes to show up at any time. But these guys gotta be blind because Shakes is already there. But guess who else is there? The FBI. So yeah, man, turns out this was actually a setup. Coach and the guys actually tricked Shakes into coming to this bride because they believe that the safest thing Shakes could do right now is hand himself over to the FBI. Shakes runs away, climbs a tree, and begins to parkour. Oh yeah, and in the process, he also stole Big Bo's bike. He's in the highway, and right behind him, the FBI. The chase was so long that the sun began to rise, and obviously since Shakes was driving for so long, he began to run out of fuel. And what do you do when you don't have gas and are being chased? You leave the bike and skedaddle. This nigga Shakes was running for his life, boy. When all hope was lost, the boat finally started and Shakes skedaddled out of there. And obviously at this point, we're all thinking, yup, that's it, Shakes escaped. I mean, look at how far he is. But hey, this is Supa Strikas we're talking about, because this man began running, took the leap, and what the flip, he made it. Yeah, now it's definitely over, because what's Shakes going to do now? He's cornered. This man begins charging at Shakes. Shakes dodges. He accidentally makes the boat begin speeding, and in front of him, an innocent family. Shakes runs to the controls and steers the boat away from the family. But unfortunately, this also means they'll be heading straight into a cabin. They crashed. The boat blew up, but Shakes and the FBI agent are still alive. Rising from the ashes, the FBI agent. This time, he's not chasing. He just wants to talk.
What are you running from? From you! Duh! You know what I mean. You tried nanotech, but no tiny gizmo's gonna replace what you've lost. You've lost your love of the game. A classic case of burnout. Maybe it's time you move on. Get a commentating gig.
Much at Strigaland.
We could even get you a job at Super League headquarters. The birdie is on the tee. You'd make one heck of an agent, kid. Me? With your football skills, you've got the 4 fundamentals down cold. Crazy skills, committed training, smart strategic moves, and teamwork. They were just trying to protect you, kid. Now come on, let's get you a new start.
Thanks, but if I'm not playing the game, I want nothing to do with it. Just saying it out loud feels good.
I'm done! Seems there's not a whole lot left for you at Strigaland.
Yeah, even Coach and the guys don't believe it.
Hey, what if I tell folks I never caught you? That you didn't make it?
Okay.
On condition you disappear. Never play soccer again.
Deal. Just make sure Big Mo gets his money back, alright?
You got it, kid.
And just like that, Shakes just faked his death. This man deleted everyone's numbers, including Spencer, and began a brand new life. He graduated, got married, got children, went on vacation. Like, this man completed life, and now his daughter is attempting to do the bicycle kick in his backyard, but she flopped. So being the GOAT father that he is, he offers to teach her his one and only bicycle kick. And in the process of teaching her the bicycle kick, Shakes finally realizes that he forgot how fun football actually is. And then boom, snap back to reality. None of everything we just saw actually happened. Shakes was just knocked out cold, and I guess he had a dream. But that dream was all he needed to find his football fire again, because he realized the reason he played football: for fun. Shakes wakes up from his dream, and turns out the medic taking care of him is actually the girl he married in his dream. And my man starts blushing. Shakes wakes up and explains to his teammates that he has found his fire for football again, and the secret was having fun. It's 0-0, and on the 88th minute, Block has the ball, plays it to Rasta. Rasta looks up, plays it back to Shakes, and Shakes with the dribble, Cruyff turn, another Cruyff turn, Shibowa on this guy, outpace this dude, gets fouled but stands up, and he begins to do some Kasi flavor on the keeper, plays it to El Matador, and he scores the winning goal, and the crowd goes wild. And with that, Supa Strikas won the final, won the cup, and the episode is chai. So moral of the story, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of this W peak content.